Hi everyone, this is Sugantha Priya, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science, Dr.S.Sugantha Rajlakshmi College of Arts and Science. This presentation is about Entity Relationship Model. An ER model stands for an entity relationship model. It is a high-level data model that is used in a database systems. This model is used to define the data elements and the relationship for a specified system. It also develops a conceptual design for a particular database. It also develops a very simple and easy to design view of data. In ER modeling, the database structure is portrayed as a diagram called as an entity relationship diagram. ER model example: to design a school database. In this database, the student will be an entity with attributes like address, name, ID, age, etc. The address can be another entity with attributes like city, street name, pin code, etc. and there will be a relationship between them. Components of the ER diagram, which includes entity, attribute and relation. Entity has types like weak entity and strong entity. Attributes have types like key attribute, composite attribute, multi-valued attribute and derived attribute. Relationship has types like one-to-one relationship, one-to-many relationship, many-to-one relationship and many-to-many relationship. Entity. An entity may be an object, class, a person or a place. In an entity relationship diagram, an entity is represented as a rectangular shape. Consider an organization as an example. Manager, product, employee, department, etc. can be taken as an entity and the employee works for a particular department. Weak entity. An entity that depends upon another entity is called as a weak entity. The weak entity does not have any key attributes of its own type. The weak entity is always represented by a double rectangle. Loan and installment. Loan is an entity here. Installment is a weak entity. Attribute. The attribute is used to describe the property of an entity. Eclipse is used to represent an attribute. For example, ID, age, contact number, name, etc. can be an attribute of a particular student. Key attribute. The key attribute is used to represent the main characteristics of an entity. It represents a primary key. The key attribute is represented by an ellipse with the text underlined. In this example, the ID is a key attribute. Composite attribute. An attribute that composed of many other attributes is known as composite attribute. The composite attribute is represented by an ellipse and those are connected with an ellipse. For example, name has composite attributes like first name, middle name and last name. Multi-valued attribute. An attribute that have more than one value is called as a multi-valued attribute. The double oval is used to represent a multi-valued attribute. For example, a student can have more than one phone number. Next is derived attribute. An attribute that can be derived from another attribute is known as derived attribute. It can be represented by a dashed ellipse. For example, a person's age changes over time and can be derived from another attribute like date of birth. Relationship. A relationship is used to describe the relationship between an entities. A diamond or a rhombus is used to represent the relationship. In this example, the teacher and the student are the two entities. Teachers is a relationship among these two entities. Next is one-to-one relationship. When one instance of an entity is associated with the relationship, then it is known as one-to-one relationship. For example, a female can marry to one male and a male can marry to one female. One-to-many relationship. When one instance of an entity on the left and more than one entity of a right associates with the relationship, then it is known as one-to-one many relationship. For example, scientists can invent many inventions, but the invention is done only by a specific scientist. Many-to-one relationship. When more than one instance of an entity on the left and only one instance of an entity on the right associate with the relationship, then it is known as many-to-one relationship. For example, a student enrolls for only one course, but a course can have many students. Many-to-many relationship. When more than one instance of an entity on the left and more than one instance of an entity to the right associate with the relationship, then it is known as many-to-many relationship. For example, Employee can assign many projects and the project can have many employees. Thank you.